Hello and welcome to Mellow Labs. On today's episode, I'm making a servo tester to end all servo testers. And this is it. It lets you control the servo at 1 degree increments, 10 degree increments, and even 100 degree increments. And it lets you save positions so that you can quickly go from position 1 to position 2, and you can even press the play button and it will automatically ping pong between the two, and you can even adjust the speed of how quickly it does that. And I'll show you how you can make yours after this message from today's sponsor. JLCPCB. With 19 years of experience and 5 state-of-the-art factories, it's no wonder that over 5.4 million engineers across 180 plus countries rely on their reliable and affordable services. Getting started is easy. Simply upload your Gerber files, get an instant quote, and place your order within minutes. It's just that easy. Whether you're prototyping or producing in volume, JLCPCB offers unbeatable pricing with 1 to 8 layer PCBs starting from just $2. But it's not just affordability. JLCPCB delivers premium quality with lightning turnaround times. Your boards can be ready within as little as 24 hours. All thanks to their fully in-house production process, which ensures quality control at every stage. And right now, there's an exclusive offer where you can get 6-layer PCBs for just $5 with $30 off of your first order. If you're ready to take your electronic projects to the next level, visit JLCPCB. Now, I think I can only really take partial credit for this idea because it was one of my Twitch moderators, Azzy who recommended that I make a good servo tester. She didn't specify what she meant by good servo tester, but I kind of dismissed the idea at the time because if I don't have a good grasp on an idea for what I want to make, it's very hard for me to concentrate on that idea. So instead, I moved on to other projects, and eventually I stumbled on this, which is a future project. I'm not going to tell you what it does, I'm not going to tell you what it is and what it's doing here. Just know that I need a servo tester for it, and I could just hook it up to a microcontroller, but this is in a very early stage of the design where I don't really want to deal with all that. I just want to be able to move the servo left and right to see if it actually, does the thing I need it to do. If not, I can move on. Now, I'm very aware that a friend of mine, Hackmade Mods, has a very good servo tester. I am very impressed with it. It's like low power mode and everything. I do advise you check it out. But that's not quite for me. I really want to be able to dial in the degrees for the servo to move from left to right. So I was laying in bed last night and it came to me just like a strike, just like, this is exactly what I need. And I wrote it down. I wrote it down on a sticky note. There's a dial that I can use to control the servo angle, and I can press it in to switch between 1 degree, 10 degrees, and 100 degrees. So, I can make sweeping servo movements without much effort. There's also a position 1, position 2, and a play button. So what I can do is I can set the servo angle, hold position 1, which will save that angle. I can then switch the angle of the servo, hold position 2, and it will then save that angle, and then I can press play, which will ping pong between those two, and in that mode I can use the dial to control the speed of the servo so I can have it ping pong slowly and fast. I can also just be in regular mode and just press the position 1 and press position 2 when I want them to go from one to another. So that's pretty much the perfect servo tester that I can think of. So now I'm going to go and make it, starting off with some research. So I'm back from my research journey, and I've narrowed down all the components that I want to use for this project. So let's start off with this rotary encoder. This is the KY040 rotary encoder. They're very popular in the Arduino community. They're very good. I bought them in like a pack of 10 a while ago, and I'm still getting through them. Honestly, I recommend them. They're very good. I'm also using this little OLED 0.91 inch display to actually display all the information that is useful. I bought these in bulk a while ago and they're great. For the buttons, I'm just using these regular push buttons. For the microcontroller, I had to go through a kind of process of elimination. So first of all, I considered this ESP32, but this is quite chunky. I still ended up with quite a chunky layout, but I'll get to why later. So this one was just eliminated by default for me. It's just too big. I wanted to use one of these ESP32 DF robot ESP32C6 DF Robot Beetle thing, because it can like have a battery connected to it and all that, but it unfortunately doesn't have enough of the correct pins I need. I need a total of 8 pins with I2C and stuff like that, so unfortunately it just didn't work out. Same goes with this ESP Beetle C3, just bummer. And then the last one I kind of had to eliminate was this Beetle MCU32U4, which is just an Arduino Leonardo in a different package. But yeah, again, not enough of the correct pins. I'm sure you can hack your way around it, but I couldn't. What I actually ended up going with is this Raspberry Pi Pico W. You don't actually need the W part. I don't have any regular Raspberry Pi Picos at hand, unfortunately, so this is what I'm going with. And again, it should have more than enough pins for what I need, so that's what we're going with. And like I said, my setup is going to be a little bit chunkier than I wanted it, mostly because I don't want to use the USB port that's on the Pico to power it, because I don't want to burn the voltage regulator that's on here. So I wanted to use USB-C, and I have one of these USB-C power delivery modules where I can change the voltage. Unfortunately, the lowest voltage I can get on one of these guys is 9 volts, which means if I want to use this, I have to step it down with a buck boost converter to 5 volts. I'd still rather do this than running the servo off of the Raspberry Pi Pico voltage regulator, because if the servo pulls more current than the Pico can supply, it's just going to burn the Pico and it's just going to be a bad time. So yeah, I'd rather connect the Pico directly to this power source where it can actually supply the current it needs. So that's all the components I need for this project. I'm going to go and chuck them on a breadboard and write a little script that will, you know, ensure that all of the components are working as they should be. So BRB. Okay, yes, I am aware that my breadboarding skills leave a lot to be desired, but everything on here works as it's supposed to. First of all, we've got a little test script running that just shows me the buttons and whether they've been pushed or not. So each one of these I can press and it will show me that I'm pressing them and releasing them, including the rotary encoder, and I can also twist the rotary encoder and it works exactly as expected. Now yeah, none of this is connected to the servo output just yet, but we've got all the individual functions working. So now I'm gonna go and do some vibe coding to get the logic to do what I need it to do. Less than an hour later, the project's basically done. Like, it took me more time deciding how to like logically display things on the screen here than it took me to, you know, tell GPT how to program the logic of this, which is insane. So here's what we have. So we can first of all control the angle. Hold on, I need to hold this down because it's moving around. So I can control the angle of the servo, and as you can see, we've got a 1 there, which means that we are in 1 degree increments. And if I press this down, it moves to 10 degree increments, and then we have 100. Perfect. So we can switch that back down to 1. I'm going to set it to 10. We're going to go to 0, and we're going to hold down the position 1 button, which you can, well, that's position 2, which you can see is set to 0, 0, 0. We can move it to, let's say, 100, and then we can hold down position 1 there, and then we can either do go 1, go 2, or we can press the automatic button and it will flick between those two, and we can, you know, change the speed of the servo. It can't go, you know, super slow. That's about as slow as we can get it to go, but then we can also speed it up. But then when you get too fast, it doesn't actually make the full movement because it's going too fast. But yeah, it pretty much worked. What? I've never seen that happen before. What? Okay, well, I think the servo's toast. What on earth? Oh, it fixed itself. That was weird. So yeah, maybe don't go too fast or your servo is gonna magically turn itself into a continuous servo. I think it just broke the little pin that prevents it from going further. That's super weird. Okay, so now with everything working exactly as I need it to work, I'm gonna go and solder this down on a prototype PCB board. So enjoy the montage. And here it is, and yes, I was going for the exposed electronic look. I kind of like it, and also if I ever want to mod something like an LED or anything like that, I can very easily do so. The only other thing I made was I printed this case from Polymaker's Polylite PLA, which they very kindly sent to me. I did model in some holes for screws, but it's actually just a pretty good, you know, snug fit like that. It's actually, you know, it holds in there, so I'm pretty happy with it. So let's play around with it. So first of all, USB-C port. We can just plug that in here, like so, and it should boot up. I will have like a little splash screen and stuff, but I've not added that in the code yet. Let me grab this future project I'm working on, and I can just plug it in here, like so. You can see that servo's already activated. Let me grab my second camera to get a nice close-up here. And now I can do exactly as I laid it out on my sticky note. I can control the servo like so, but I can also set position 1 there, and then we can push it there and set position 2, and then we can just play between those two positions. And we can adjust the speed like so. Or we can go into manual mode and just, you know, do that. So that actually works so well. If you guys are actually interested in, you know, making something like this, or you'd like a version of this you'd like to buy, do let me know. I'd be like super interested in making this an actual like PCB with everything on it in like a nice 3D printed case, a little bit like Hackmade's mod one, but you know, with these features. So if you'd like that, let me know down below. And I guess with that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. If you can, please support me over on Patreon, and I'll see you in next week's live stream. Goodbye.